Live broadcast on Ecuadorian TV was dramatically interrupted on Tuesday by balaclava-clad gunmen. Just one example of a fresh wave of violence that's shaken Ecuador after a high-profile gang leader disappeared from prison on the weekend. The violence that started in several prisons has since spread to the streets and has led President Daniel Noboa to launch a military crackdown on gangs.
They just shot a guy in the street. Oh.
Get down, get down, get down.
All right, y'all, it's your boy Young Jorge with the Wright Destination, and I am going live from Cuenca, Ecuador. I'm sure as most of you have heard, there are some issues going on in Ecuador right now. There are some isolated events all around the country, and needless to say, the country is on edge right now. There's a lot of official and unofficial reports. I'm not sure what's real news and what's fake at this time. But one thing to say is that the streets are eerily quiet around here, and people are pretty much staying hunkered down just to stay safe. I'll spare you all the details, but my family and I are safe right now. There aren't any safety issues where we're at currently, but we have decided to cut our Ecuador trip short. When we set out to come here, the plan was to be here for 3 months, soak up as much of the culture and the people and the sites that we could, but it seems like it's just, we don't know if things are gonna get better before they get worse or worse before they get better. So we have decided to head out. We have a lot of footage and a lot of things we still had to do. So we'll still be releasing that content, and we really enjoyed our time here, minus what's going on right now. And we hope that the people of Ecuador, we pray that they stay safe and that they continue to be vigilant in these times. And y'all pray for us as we make our maneuvers and head back to the States. Pray for your boy, message us if you want to check on us. I'll try to get back to all the messages, and big shouts out to everybody who's reached out to us to check on our safety status. We appreciate y'all, we love you, and we'll see you on the next go round, y'all.
The Wright Destination, traveling from my point of view, shedding light on vacation, and now we want to share it with you.
You ready?
I'm ready, babe.
Cheers.
Cheers. To Ecuador.
To Ecuador.
Well, I'm gonna need a couple of these. All right, y'all, well, welcome to the Wright Destination. I'm sure as most of you know by now, my name is Young Jorge, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Casey. And what we are here to do today is to just discuss our last 24 hours in Ecuador. I'm sure as you saw by the intro, there was a lot of things that went on while we were in Ecuador, and we feel like it's time for us to speak on them. It's been hard for us to digest having our trip cut short and having to come back and pick back up where we left off with kind of no wrap up or conclusion to what we experienced. So we're gonna take this time and have a discussion with y'all and explain where our heads were at and what we were kind of going through in those last 24 hours in Ecuador. So
we had a lot going on in a short amount of time.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. All right, y'all. Basically, what I want to do is paint a picture for you on how things transpired. So it all kind of started a little bit before 24 hours the day before, when my wife had mentioned that on the Facebook page, there was an escape of a high-ranking gang official in Ecuador.
I just said this casually to George in conversation. I didn't really think anything of it. I just wanted to know if he had heard the same thing. So it wasn't something that we were really concerned about. It just came up in casual conversation.
And so fast forward, we're at lunch, we're at almuerzo, we're having
The next day.
The next day, Yes, the next day we're at Almuerzo, we're having a good time, and I ended up having the bubble guts, y'all. My stomach was creeping on me. Now that happens occasionally, and so you know what, after, I didn't want to rush her through her meal. We had already had a little bit of hornado earlier that day. I'll take Georgie, I'll walk back, you guys finish up, enjoy your rest of your lunch, and then come on back and we'll meet at the apartment.
So Enola and I head back from the restaurant, and we actually casually walk back. We take a long route, we go and see some different stores, went through the park, and so we slowly go home. Not a care in the world. We know that George and Georgie are back at the Airbnb. We're located right in Centro at this point. And so we get back home and we chillax for a little bit. The kids are ready for a nap. So is George.
Yep.
I actually stay up the whole time, catch up on some of my shows, and I'm starting to kind of get the itch that I want to go for a walk or something like that. Our Airbnb is actually connected to a cafe, and the cafe is completely dark. The doors have been shut, there's no one in there, and this was a very busy cafe. Always things going on, and it kind of just made me think that I needed to look into things a little bit further.
I went out on the street and kind of looked around, and I didn't see the same level of activity that we're accustomed to seeing. Remember, we're right downtown, right in Centro, and the streets were eerily quiet, I must say.
There was no public transportation running. All the buses, the tram, everything has stopped. All of the businesses have shut down, and not just shut down, but if you're familiar with Ecuador, the steel door is pulled down, like they're not opening anytime soon. The next thing that we see on our timeline is a video of the main park in Cuenca, and we'll actually let you guys look at that video.
We're gonna run that footage. I believe it's Parque Calderon. Parque Calderon, we've got the footage, let's run it right now. So yes, and so as you can see, that was the scene, you guys. Terrified women, children, people of the community running, and we don't really know what. You know, we were hearing conflicting news stories. There was supposedly a shooting,
a bomb threat.
A bomb threat. You know, we really didn't get to the bottom of it. We just saw the sheer chaos.
And all we knew was that Enola and I had literally just walked through this park hours before, and went there several nights since we had been in Cuenca, because it's kind of the hot spot to go to.
Yes, Calderon Park. That was the last part of our last video was shot. There was a nice trumpet player down there who was entertaining the patrons down there, and we spent a lot of time at Parque Calderon. And so we couldn't believe our eyes. I mean, our jaws literally dropped when we saw that scene. Fast forward, I believe the next scene we saw the people running from the school. There was a school in Guayaquil where there was a few shots fired. We've got that footage too. We'll roll that right now. The next big thing that happened on our timeline was we were hearing there were rumblings of prisons being overran by the inmates in different locations throughout Ecuador. So we're looking at this timeline. One of the main ones that they said was taken over was the Turi prison. And so we get online real quick, I'm Googling and we look, and Turi prison is right outside of Cuenca, only a couple of miles. That really got my blood pumping at that time when we saw that. And then I think a lot of you saw the main clip of the TV station actually being taken over by criminals, by masked gunmen who held the news reporters at shotgun gunpoint. Some of them had knives and guns, and I mean, it was just a lot of scary scenes and visuals coming across our timeline. Quickly, guys. I'm saying
it seemed like everything was building on top of each other, And it was like once you got a point to digest one thing, then you see something else. So we're just slowly trying to digest all of this.
Totally. So really, I feel like the straw that broke the camel's back was when President Daniel Noboa declared a national state of emergency, you guys. And what that really looked like was basically there was a curfew enacted. So from 5 p.m. at night, or I'm sorry, 11 p.m. at night to 5 a.m. in the morning, streets had to be cleared. For the business owners here, we're seeing people close, taxis stopped running. And I mean, I don't know about her, but I knew it was serious when Super Maxi closed down. Y'all think I'm playing? When we got the news that the Super Maxi was closed, you know, I knew it was a bit out of control. And so I think it's kind of things spun, and they spun real quickly.
Eerily reminded us of COVID. At the beginning of the pandemic, when everything started shutting down, people weren't going to work, kids weren't going to school, businesses weren't open if they weren't essential. Everything eerily seemed like COVID. That's what it brought me back to instantly. And then I had to be okay with having my family in Ecuador during another pandemic.
We're used to being in sticky situations as a couple, but we know we can both hold our own if we need to skedaddle or get away or make a maneuver or even fight back, damn it.
Yeah.
And you know, with the kids, it's like, well, no, we basically gotta just run and hide and protect ourselves and be one step ahead. And so it kind of put us in a box. It made us feel like very vulnerable. I know I'll speak for myself. I felt vulnerable, and I felt like I didn't know what I would do if shit really did hit the fan.
I think especially with two toddlers, you know, Georgie isn't even technically a toddler. So my, fear was having to keep them quiet, know, for an amount of time. And I go back to the music or to the movie where you have to be quiet. They're gonna like come and get you.
Yeah,
like with a baby, forget about it. Like I have the most talkative toddler in the world. She's gonna tell you everything. So, that was just difficult for me to think of a moment in time where I had to keep them quiet, and would they behave the way they needed to in the heat of the moment.
I think with that, we started to discuss what that looks like for us leaving, getting the heck out of Dodge. There was another scene that we'll play here, a clip we'll play, that came out of the Guayaquil airport where some gentlemen stormed the airport. There was a shootout, some people got shot. I don't know if anyone was killed, but we're seeing this, and then they subsequently closed the airport.
What the is going on? Dude.
Oh, shit.
Oh, they just... Oh my God. Oh. They just shot a guy in the street. Oh.
Get down, get down, get down.
And so we're kind of thinking, well, what happens if we're in a situation where we're stuck here for a long term? If these gangs start taking over the airports, I mean, we're some sitting ducks for real then, That's basically what got us discussing what are the steps we need to do to get out of here. Basically, I ran lookout for the rest of the night. I didn't sleep well that night. So I'm constantly checking outside of our Airbnb, going outside, every little noise I hear. I mean, I was paranoid, y'all. I heard somebody pull in. We had a thing where the cars could pull in, and I'm looking at somebody pulled in. I'm like, oh Lord, now somebody pulling in at midnight. Who is this?
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna show the footage of us getting out of here. We went to a few different countries getting up out of here. We got some footage of us getting back home and being reunited with our family. So stay tuned and check that out. And then we're also we've got more videos coming. We want to even unpack how we feel being back in the United States now.
Yeah.
That's gonna be our next video. We've already discussed it, is now that we're back here, what does that look like for our family moving forward, and how do we feel now that we escaped? All right, y'all, we're taking off from Ecuador. Our trip was cut short, but it's all love, ain't it? No, it's not. We have made it. We are safe and sound here in Colombia, Medellin, Colombia.
Which do you want? I'll take the veggie one. We're out of mushrooms. Do you still want that? No, I'm good. Thanks. Have a good day.
Oh, look.
We appreciate you taking the time to listen to what we have to say. Get in the comment section. Stay tuned. It's your boy Young Jorge and my beautiful wife, Casey, signing off from the Wright Destination, y'all.